Step into a world where the global spotlights dim, the roaring crowds fade into a distant hum, and 7 icons trade their stage outfits for comfortable loungewear. Imagine escaping into the serene wilderness, far from the frantic pace of fame. But what truly happens when the cameras stay, yet the structure vanishes? What hidden depths of their personalities emerge when the performance ends and the silence takes over? Are you ready to witness the raw, unfiltered truth of BTS in the woods?
Number 7. Jimin, finding stillness amidst the chaos. The moment Jimin stepped into the lush, emerald embrace of the In the Soop forest, it felt like the world collectively took a long, healing breath. We have watched him for years as the quintessential perfectionist, the dancer whose every movement is calculated with surgical precision, and the performer who lives for the high-octane energy of stadium lights. But here, in the quietude of nature, we see a side of Jimin that is both fragile and deeply grounding. He isn't the star here. He is a man seeking a sanctuary for his own soul. Think about the pressure of holding a global legacy on your shoulders, the expectations that come with being the voice of a generation. In these scenes, Jimin allows himself to just be. Whether he is awkwardly attempting to fish, laughing until his eyes disappear into tiny crescents, or simply sitting by the water watching the sunlight dance through the leaves, he represents the universal struggle of finding peace in a life that rarely allows for it. There is a specific, heart-wrenching beauty in his vulnerability. He often speaks about the exhaustion of the idol life, the way the lines blur between the persona and the person. And in this setting, you can see him actively working to reconnect with his true self. He finds joy in the simplest of things: the smell of the rain on the pine needles, the taste of a meal cooked over a humble flame, and the unspoken comfort of his brothers nearby. It is a masterclass in mindfulness. He teaches us that even when you are at the absolute pinnacle of success, the greatest luxury isn't fame or fortune. It is the ability to sit in silence without feeling the need to perform. His journey in the forest is a reflection of...
Number 6. V. Capturing the soul of the solitude. Watching V in the forest is like stepping into an indie film where the colors are warmer and the pace is dictated by the heartbeat of nature itself. We know him as the visual masterpiece, the man with the deep, soulful baritone that can stop a crowded arena in its tracks. But when he retreats into the wilderness of In the Soop, he transforms into an observer of life's most microscopic wonders. V has this unique, almost ethereal ability to romanticize the mundane. While others might see a simple woodland trail, he sees a canvas of shifting shadows and golden light. He carries his camera like an extension of his own eyes, searching for the beauty that the rest of us are too busy to notice. There is a profound artistic depth to his solitude. He isn't just taking a break from the industry, he is actively curating a private collection of memories that belong only to him. You can see it in the way he pauses to watch a beetle crawl across a wooden deck, or how he hums a melody that hasn't been written yet, a song meant for the trees and the wind rather than a Billboard chart. This version of V is deeply philosophical. He is a man who finds comfort in the quiet, a stark contrast to the bright, chaotic energy of his public life.
Number 5. Jungkook, the relentless pursuit of mastery in the wild. When you think of the youngest member, the golden maknae, you might expect him to be the one running around, testing the boundaries of the forest, or pushing his physical limits. And to a certain extent, you would be right. But what we witness in the Soop is a far more nuanced, deeply fascinating evolution of Jungkook as an individual. Here, the raw, unbridled energy that we see on stage is channeled into a singular, almost meditative focus on craftsmanship. Whether he is obsessively working on his painting, perfecting a new recipe, or simply finding a quiet corner to practice his music, Jungkook displays an intensity that is both intimidating and deeply inspiring. He is the embodiment of the lifelong learner. In this serene environment, he doesn't just want to relax, he wants to create, to understand, and to excel, even in his downtime. There is a palpable tension in the way he approaches a new hobby. He doesn't just dabble, he dives headfirst into the deep end, treating every moment as a challenge to overcome. Watching him, you start to realize that for Jungkook, growth is not just a
Number 4. RM, the intellectual anchor, finding solitude in the sounds of nature. The leader of the group often carries the weight of the world, serving as the bridge between 7 distinct personalities and the relentless, global expectations of the industry. But within the walls of the In the Soop retreat, RM experiences a profound, necessary shedding of that heavy mantle. We see him in his most authentic state, the introspective intellectual, the man who finds solace in the rustle of leaves, the intricate patterns of a wooden carving, or the deep, rhythmic hum of the forest. He is a man of books and deep thoughts, and here, the forest acts as his library. You can almost see the gears of his mind slowing down, transitioning from the frantic, high-speed pace of a producer and leader to the deliberate, measured rhythm of someone simply trying to exist in harmony with the earth. There is a quiet, unassuming dignity in the way he navigates the space. He doesn't need to lead here. He just needs to be. He spends hours cycling through the trails, not for exercise, but to clear the mental fog that accumulates over years of being the group's spokesperson. When he sits down to write or simply gazes out at the lake, you witness a man grappling with the complexities of his own influence. It is a deeply relatable struggle, the challenge of staying grounded when the world constantly pulls you toward the sky. He isn't performing for the cameras. He is searching for the version of himself that exists without a stage, without a script, and without the need to explain anything to anyone. He finds profound beauty in the
Number 3. SUGA, the quiet architect of peace in the wilderness. If the forest has a heartbeat, SUGA is the one listening to it with the most profound, steady focus. We often perceive him as the stoic pillar, the razor-sharp producer who can turn complex emotions into rhythmic gold. But In the Soop reveals a side of him that is surprisingly, almost jarringly, serene. There is an unmistakable sense of relief in his movements when he enters the wooden sanctuary of the house. He doesn't look for excitement, he looks for the...
Number 2. J-Hope, the sun-kissed soul finding rhythm in the trees. If nature had a soundtrack, J-Hope would undoubtedly be the one composing its most joyful, infectious beats. Throughout his career, he has been the radiant energy of the group, the human embodiment of optimism, and the precision-driven dancer who never misses a step. But in the lush, untamed setting of In the Soop, we see the man behind the bright stage persona, and it is a revelation of pure, unadulterated warmth. J-Hope in the forest is like the first ray of sunlight breaking through a heavy morning mist. He brings a sense of wonder that turns every mundane activity into an event. Whether he is enthusiastically organizing a game, meticulously planning a surprise for his brothers, or simply dancing in the kitchen while waiting for the water to boil, his energy is the catalyst that keeps the spirit of the group alive. Yet what makes his time in the woods so deeply moving is his quiet moments of reflection. You can see him processing the immense journey he has taken, standing on the balcony looking out at the mountains, his expression shifting from a playful grin to a look of profound gratitude. He is a man who understands that in order to be the light for others, he must also tend to his own internal fire. He isn't just the happy one here. He is a man discovering that it...
Number 1. Jin, the heart of the hearth, finding beauty in the mundane. The final piece of our woodland puzzle is none other than Jin, the man who effortlessly anchors the chaotic energy of the group with the steady, reliable warmth of a fireplace. If In the Soop is a story about discovery, Jin is the narrator who keeps the tone grounded in the reality of living, breathing human connection. We know him as the worldwide handsome icon, the vocal powerhouse with a range that defies gravity. But in the heart of the forest, he is simply the oldest brother, the master of the kitchen, and the self-appointed architect of morale. There is something profoundly, almost magically comforting about watching Jin move through the house. He doesn't just cook, He conducts an orchestra of flavors and aromas, transforming humble ingredients into a communal feast that acts as the spiritual center of their stay. In a setting defined by its vastness, he creates intimacy with every meal he prepares, proving that the most powerful thing we can do for one another is to show up, be present, and feed each other's souls. But beyond the apron and the effortless humor that keeps his brothers in stitches, there is a deep, reflective side to Jin that we rarely see under the stage lights. You can catch it in the brief pauses when he stares out the window, or in the way he listens when the others are talking, his eyes holding a depth of understanding that speaks of his role as the eldest. He carries the responsibility of setting the mood, and he does it with such grace that it feels like a natural extension of his personality.